Yes, people. Yes, people. We are back in the building once again. A bit of an earlier time this week. The big free show. I got my guys CM and Chino in the building. What you man saying?
Man, another week of basketball. Maybe here early, but you know the vibes are the same, man. Big up Chino, big up Roland, everyone in the chat.
Come on, Chino. What you saying,
Oh,
man?
big up CM. I'm here, innit? I'm just
Oh,
here, man. We just recovered. Still recovering, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Just big up everybody in the chat. And yeah, I'm ready to talk some basketball.
Boy, I mean, look, there's a lot to discuss, even if we are starting a bit earlier this week and that. Make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button as well. If you're new, hit the notification bell and all that good stuff right there. But there's only one place to start. I mean, the Phoenix Suns have been in free fall since the beginning of the season. I'm not too sure what their latest result is. I may have to check that. But they've lost 9 out of their last 10 games. What's going on in the Valley, people, man? What is going on right now? Um, wait, I mean, we've touched on it a little bit in different shows across this season and whatnot. But hey, it's looking like something needs to happen with that roster. They need to blow it up and maybe start again. Maybe they've hit their limit and hit their ceiling right now. After trying to go for that title and then obviously imploding in the playoffs last season. But what's your man's thoughts on the Suns like so far this season?
Man, obviously, big miss Devin Booker. He's averaging over 27 points, almost 6 assists in a game. And then, you could say things about CP. I think his production's pretty much what it can be right now with his age and what he's doing in his career. You can look at, for example, guys like DeAndre Ayton. You expect a guy who was picked number one in 2018 to step up a bit more, and not to say he hasn't been playing good in certain games. He's had some good ones, but I mean, just speaking off of what I've seen, 4 points against the Raptors, 12 against the Knicks, 15 against Cleveland. You want more from a guy, but when you look at DeAndre Ayton play, he doesn't seem like somebody's gonna try and take over the game, and that's a lot of people's biggest problem with him. His aggressiveness at times,
Mm.
it just isn't what you want it to be, and then you know. Phoenix, in my opinion, they can still be a good team, but they're just missing a big piece. And like what you said to the changes, bro. I mean, under the old owner who shall not be named, they were known to be a
Mm.
bit stingy with their moves. So new ownership situation, they're trying to get it through. Will they get it in time for the trade deadline? That's the biggest thing because they've got guys like Jay Crowder who are still sitting on the roster waiting to be moved or to be paid the money that he thinks he deserves. Even though I saw something recently that the NBA, well, a lot of NBA general GMs and stuff like that are I've been mocking him because they're like, I would understand KD sitting out asking for more money, but it's Jay Crowder.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say too much on that one, but yeah, for Phoenix, I don't know, man, because you would think that roster has enough to at least compete on a level to try and stay afloat, but they
Mm.
haven't been able to do that. And look, they still have quality players, Bridges, Cam Johnson, Chris Paul, even though he is, very old in his this time in his career, his ability to average a double double in assists and points.
Mm.
Maybe you might want more from him at this point, but it's a stretch. I'm the main guy I'm looking at is DeAndre Ayton because Devin Booker's out. Now it's your chance to say, all right, cool. All of this stuff that happened in the off season regarding the contract scenario, me possibly wanting to leave,
Mm.
sign and trade situations and stuff like that. Now is your time to prove to not just the Phoenix Suns, but the league that you deserve to get paid the amount that you thought you wanted to get paid, and it hasn't worked out that way.
Chino, what's your thoughts on this? Because especially the DeAndre Ayton situation, because in the offseason, the deal sheet was put through by the Pacers. They matched, well, I think they gave the maximum amount they could give to him, and then the Suns matched it so that he could stay. So, what's your thoughts on the whole situation with the Suns?
Uh, excuse me. Yeah, yo. Hold on. Let me gather my thoughts real quick. We see it. Cause see it was cooking.
Trust me.
They should have let it go, bro. They should
Mm,
have part ways. You know what it is. You know what it is. They did a united. That's what they did. They don't want to look. They they don't want to lose a number one pick for nothing.
mm-hmm,
That's what it was. They know there's no relationship with Aiden and the coach.
mm-hmm.
There's no relationship. So you re-signing DeAndre Ayton. Now what you're sending to the locker room and through the organization is, and to your coach and his coaching staff is, we don't respect you
Mm-hmm.
because this is a player you don't want, and we're gonna sign him because we don't want to lose him for nothing. So we're just gonna sign him back
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it is. It's just the Aiton couldn't do nothing about it. Like Aiton, he was a restricted free agent. Um, they decided to match what the Pacers offered.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he wanted to leave. That's why he accepted the Pacers offer.
Yep.
Um, Phoenix should have just let it go. Sometimes you have to take a L.
Yep.
And then, like CM is saying, the Jay Crowder thing, they're trying to fleece somebody. Like people are not stupid. Like Jay Crowder, like we know he don't want to be there. You don't want him. Why would we offer you a first round pick or this and that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they because they know Miami need a power forward, right? They call Miami. Miami said the only thing we're doing is a Duncan Robinson for Jay Crowder to get rid of that contract. Like
Yep.
we're not about to offer you no picks or anything. When it doesn't work out and you buy him out, we'll pick him up off the buyout because he have
Yep.
a house in Miami. He will want to come back, come to Miami
Mm,
in the buyout market. So it's either you take that Duncan Robinson bad contract, and it's the same thing with other teams. It's where other teams are trying to dump a bad contract onto them to take him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole mess. And CP3, a lot of people, everybody know what, like, CP3, he splits the basketball community.
mm-hmm.
Some people hate him, some people admire him, but they don't really talk about him, but they know what he can offer.
Mm.
But I mean, I think Luca got to him, man. Luca got him rattled. Luca, Luca rattled that man down to the spine. You know what I'm saying? So he haven't really been on it. He haven't been
Yeah.
on it, and it's just a lot going on. Like CM was saying, like it's just a lot going on, man. I just think the main thing though is look at Monty Williams. I
Mm,
think he feels disrespected.
mm,
So he's not pouring too much in it. He's trying, but there's 100 and then there's 150, 200. When he got coach of the year and all that stuff, like he
yep.
was going 200,
Yep.
like he was going hard. But now you re-sign a guy that he don't want. He didn't
Mm,
want. You know what I'm saying? Like the relationship is bad. Even after he re-signed, we saw in huddles this year in games. In huddles, they're arguing. Him and Monty
mm,
Williams. We saw in practice, they're arguing. Aiton won't even look at, you know what I'm saying?
mm.
Money, it's too much going on. So that's just it. But I mean, it's the Phoenix Suns. Like Devin Booker healthy, he will. I think the Suns are. We live. Roland. When you live and you trying to go up in weight,
Mm.
and you go up in weight, and then you hit that 250 on your bench press, and you've been there for 3-4 months, and you feel like you can't go
Go
no
anymore.
further.
Yeah.
You plateau, so
Yeah.
you can't go no more. So now you have to deload. So you
Yep.
have to go down back to letting your body feel like 185, 200 is your max. No, you're lifting lighter weight to see if you can go past that. So I feel like they plateau. The Suns,
Mhm,
they hit their max
mhm.
like last year. So they should have blow it up with Aiton. Um, blow it up with CP3. They shouldn't have gave him that 2 years, how many million? Like it's just crazy. So yeah, but Devin Booker, he will do like what Luca does for the
Oh, Chino, I think you hear Chino? Oh, he's muted. He's muted.
Got him.
Yeah, but I think I know where he was kind of like trying to finish off there. Like Devin Booker will kind of perform when he's healthy. He'll be performing at the kind of level that Luka does for the Mavs. But then what's interesting as well about this Sun situation? Do we think that the ownership situation caused a big distraction at the beginning of the season because it may have stopped certain operations from happening within their front office? Because
I'm back.
when
Can you man hear me?
yeah, you can hear, you can
Yeah,
hear, you
yeah.
can hear.
Sorry, I had to put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
Somebody calling. You know how streaming I get. But yeah, my bad. I was wrapping it up though. But yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like the Suns are gonna be like the Mavs, like
yeah,
with Booker, like what Luca does, get them in the playoff because Booker is a very good player.
yeah.
He's a elite scorer. Like,
Mhm.
don't get it twisted. He will give you 30 every night. You know what I'm saying? Then the occasional 40 and 50. Um, but yeah, I just think that's their ceiling until because Aiton don't want to be there, so that's gonna be their bargaining chip, their trade piece. They gotta trade Aiton. Is Roland frozen? Is my thing tripping?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You're good. You're good. Oh no, Chino's gone again. He's gone again. He's gone. Hey, he'll be back. He'll be back. But like, yeah. So like, this is what I'm saying. I think it's an interesting point to make. Like the ownership situation, at the beginning of the season, like off season into the beginning of the season, may have disrupted their operations. Maybe they wanted to, kind of do their thing where like they wanted to try and blow it up, but then it was a bit of an unstable situation. So they decided, let's hold back, let's re-sign Aiton, and then let's see how. I mean, this team has competed at a high level before. We could probably do it again. Let's go through the motions a little bit and then get to that point. But it just hasn't worked out because, as Chino mentioned, Aiton is not seeing eye to eye with Monty Brown, the coach, which is also a very surprising thing because like he was coach of the year. What is it? 2 seasons ago? Yeah, a couple seasons ago, and like so, you would think, okay, with somebody with that kind of level, that potential, being able to take a franchise into the position that they were in, that everyone's buying into what's going on. Obviously, we know that outside situations can affect sport as well. You're an individual who believes in your talent. You feel like you should be paid to that talent, and it's not happening because of things happening off the court. And so, what do you think about that? Do you think that ownership situation has kind of clouded everything for the organization and how it's been able to basically try and bounce back from some of those setbacks that they had in the playoffs and the finals and whatnot?
Luca rattled them. Go ahead, CM. But wait, before CM answer your question and start, Boston Celtics say Jaylen Brown is out tonight against the Brooklyn
Oh
Nets
no!
with an abductor strain. But yeah, go ahead,
He was
CM.
hey, he
Answer
went
your
in last night though, man. He got 41 points against the
question.
Pels, man. He was cooking yesterday, but
Man,
well, it's a
that's
big test, isn't
tough.
it? We'll see. We'll see what they can do, man. This next side are cooking right now.
But KD is out, man, because of
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry. His fat self need to learn how to play defense and
Hey,
stop
we're gonna talk about that game.
take
We're gonna talk about
charge.
that game
But
in
yeah, no, go ahead, CM. CM, man.
Nah,
Go
I,
ahead.
I was gonna say to roll this question definitely because of all the controversy that was in and around that Suns organization, and yeah, I mean, you have to be kind of hesitant to make moves when you know somebody else new is going to be coming in soon. You don't know what they're gonna want to do with the roster, so you want to possibly wait for their ideas and get their say so. But yeah, that's probably gonna be the toughest thing for the Phoenix Suns because yeah, I feel like this season there are a lot of teams that are kind of all right. They're not really championship level, but they're not terrible either.
Mm.
So they're really gonna go into towards the end of the season and they don't know whether they need to make the changes or not. And I feel like Phoenix are in that position because even though they've had a bad run, you know, at certain points of the season they've had some really good performances with everybody healthy. So you don't know, and especially in the past with them being able to get to the finals and having success in the playoffs, they're coming off a 60-win season not too long ago. So they're gonna be one of those teams where it's a massive decision to make with DeAndre Ayton with a few other players as well. But we'll have to see because when things are going good for Phoenix, then they can go really well. But it just matters how they're able to close out the season and enter the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. Because as you say, like that West is kind of wide open, you know, just based off of what we've been seeing. You know, you've got Denver, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, and then the Mavs just in behind those three. And then after that, it's really anybody's game, to be honest with you. Like because the Lakers have been going on a little bit of a run, they can get themselves back in. Like obviously, we obviously know about the Clippers. You know, they was on a little bit of a bad run, and then next thing you know, they come back into that picture. It's just there's a lot going on over in the West, so it's going to be interesting to see where the Suns end up. But let me get some of these comments right now. Big up, man, like Vibes. How's Giannis attempt a free throw and Osama been hard and do it? Yeah, see, look, this is the thing I like about Vibes, isn't it? So creative with all of these things here. The slander names are on point, just like Santi says. Big up Santi as well. The best slander names, man, for sure. Does CP3 to 6 weeks still play? Yo, he's still there, fam. He's still there. You know what I'm saying? People be talking about his age and that, but he's still going, fam. You know what I'm saying? Well, big up yourself, guys. Big up, man, like Rich in the building. What you say, my bro? He says, yes, brothers. Dropping a like and heading to bed. I'm tired. Big up to you all, guys. Make sure to like the stream, to sub to both the Pros Only Sports and to CM22 ENT. Look out for Chino's channel soon. Come, yes, Chino's channel is coming soon. He just needs to get his things together, and he'll be good, man. And we're gonna start supporting his streams and all of that good stuff right there.
You know what it is?
Go on.
I mean, I have a lot of the stuff. Like someone's gonna build a PC. I have a lot of stuff. I just gotta get a desk and all that stuff and set it up. But I was supposed to come together in December, and I had the money, but I got broke, bro. Going getting all the gifts from my dog. I was broke.
Hey, trust you, bro. Christmas is expensive.
People, it's coming. Just let me get the tax season is around the corner.
Yeah, hey,
yeah.
For the Americans, the tax season's coming through. They get their checks, man. We don't get no checks like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Christmas is expensive. I have to be on a little. Let me just save money for the next few months, bro, and then we be back in it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Hey, Chino, whilst we're here in it, we're gonna talk about this Nets Heat game that happened on Sunday night. You were watching the game. There were some interesting things that went on. You know what I mean? I saw a clip of the foul on Jimmy Butler towards the end of the game. You know, Royce O'Neal with the contact. Obviously, KD had the injury at the end. You know what I mean? You said he had a clash with Kyle Lowry. Now we found out that he's been injured for a month, and we'll discuss that in a little bit of detail as well.
Oh wow!
But give me your breakdown on the game, bro. You watched the game in detail, so let us know what actually happened throughout the game, and then we'll try and dissect.
It was a shootout.
Mm.
It was a shootout. Honestly, the Nets they look so much better, right? And there is still more room that they could go. The thing is, right? Ben Simmons been playing better, but he's still a bitch. I feel like he could be so much more aggressive. His willingness to pass is good, but I feel like if he gets more aggressive and start working on it like a jump shot, like a little pick and pop middies type, like type things, or picking just push it like a hook shot, like a push shot. Just work on something, be more aggressive. They will be elite, but they're up there. They're up there with what Kyrie and KD. But that game versus Miami, since December, Miami been in the top 5 in defense. We're starting to find our identity again. We're starting to play a lot better than we started the season. I know I know the result, like our record doesn't show. That's because we've been in a lot of close clutch game. Obviously, like the Nets game, and we lost it by a point. Well, yeah, a point. The thing is, that's what like I think about 30 of the games we play, like 30 of the games, that's been the margin. Either we win by within 5 points or we lost within 5 points because they're in the clutch. But that game, it was just back and forth. Miami, the Nets go on a run, Miami stop it. Miami go on a run, the Nets can't stop it. And then Tyler Hero came out second quarter, just went ballistic. Kyrie kept trying to hunt for Tyler Hero, but Victor Oladipo wasn't having it. That's been the main part of Miami surge, like why they've been so much better in recent weeks. It's been Victor Oladipo.
Mm.
He, like, people forget this guy was an all-star before the injury. All-star, all NBA defense. Like, that's what we're seeing right now out of Oladipo off the bench. The TJ Warren is very good. Royce O'Neal, you can't leave him open because Spo, throw the double team at Kyrie, but he's so good at finding the pass. He just pick out the pass, and Royce O'Neal was hurting us. KD wasn't really doing too much. KD wasn't really doing too much in the game. I think Spo had a very good game plan for KD. Obviously you can see the game plan for Kyrie, but he's just so, oh my god, I wanted to cry watching him, bro. He is so elite. Victor Oladipo, you know how Victor Oladipo defense. You saw it in the Eastern Conference against
Yes.
Jalen Brown. He
Yeah.
was suffocating Kyrie. Kyrie is like, okay, Kyrie just had to start pulling up from deep and pull up and just hit a couple of them from deep because he can't get no air, like, anywhere to dribble to go or to off ball. Kyrie trying to move off ball through screens, and Oladipo just wasn't giving him no room.
Mm.
And you have to be careful because then when they try to get it to Kyrie, Oladipo was jumping them and he got like 3 or 4 runouts,
Mm.
steals and run out and layup dunk, like, because that's just how crazy he was playing. Just to give you guys an insight of Miami, what Oladipo been doing. He's played 16 games, right? He's played 16 games. And Jimmy's at the top with, like, I think 30 games with 118 deflection. Oladipo plays 16 games, not even like 30 something 40-minute games, some of them, but he have 55 deflections, bro.
That's wild.
55 deflections in 16 games, bro. He has been immense defensively. Oh yeah, people, drop a hashtag Roland feel better. See my guy sipping his tea. He's not feeling so well, but he's here, what I'm saying, doing the show with us.
Come on.
So yeah, man, make sure y'all wish Roland a speedy recovery. Hope he feels better.
Come
But
on.
yeah, so yeah, man, the Nets is a very good team, man. And that coach, I told you, man, I knew he didn't have a
Oh, I was surprised, bro. I was surprised when you shared us the tweet from Magic Johnson saying that they need to sign him up permanently. I thought he was permanent.
That's what
I
I'm pretty
because I
sure
didn't
he's
hear nothing.
permanent.
I thought he was, but apparently he's not. So
Yeah, I knew I didn't hear nothing. I knew because I knew I saw somewhere where they're saying when the Nets is gonna do it, and then Magic Johnson confirmed to me now that they really didn't do it yet. But just to touch on him too, real quick, he's a very good coach, man. Because whenever Miami will go on a run, he was doing the Spo thing. He will call a timeout when it was just 2 buckets. A lot of coaches wait for 3, 4, but and then you can't really stop the bleeding.
mm.
2 buckets, and he didn't care if he had 2, 3 timeout. He would call it to stop the bleeding, and they will respond. It was very good coaching game, man. Yeah, it was a very good game.
I mean, like let's touch on Jack Vaughan and the work he's done. Because yeah, as I said, very surprising that the Nets front office have not like sorted out that situation and given him his permanent deal. Like, and he's been such a very loyal servant to the organization. He's been assistant coach there. I think he was the interim coach in the bubble. I think it was. Um, and yeah, see him saying here, he's saying Vaughan's promotion comes with a deal through to the 23-24. Okay, fair enough. So he hasn't got a long-term deal. It's just more of a, we promoted you from assistant. You're in the position now until, which is good because it provides a bit of continuity and how they want to build for the upcoming season and whatnot. But yeah, like the work he's done, like we've seen clips of him, working with the bigger stars, with KD and Kyrie, kind of giving them, the leadership role within the team so they can make decisions like on the fly when they're on the court and whatnot. I think the one thing that he's improved immensely is the defensive identity. Everybody's working hard for each other on that court, and I've seen it in games. I've watched them. I watched them tonight as well against the Celtics. It's going to be an interesting game, but everybody's working hard, and it's not just the players that have come in, over the off season, like Sumner, he's come in, and Royce O'Neal, he's come in, and they're showing like that kind of work ethic. But then you look at Nick Claxton, the improvements he's made this season. Like I seen a stat yesterday. I think it was the only player to average, I think, 10 rebounds and like I don't even know how many points it was. I swear I screenshotted it somewhere, but he's like on a list with it's just him and Wilt Chamberlain. It's kind of crazy. Like I just need to get, what is that screenshot that I took? A mad stat. Let me just see if I can grab that real quick. Where is it?
He was blocking shots all over the place, man.
I'm just
he
gonna
blocked Jimmy like 2 times.
Let me see if I can get this stat right here, fam. It was on StatMuse, fam. Yeah. So players with 10 plus points per game and 72 field goal percentage in a season. Nick Claxton, Wilt Chamberlain. That's the list. That is it. Like when you look at that that is a mad jump. I think Nick Claxton's 3rd year, I think it is, in the NBA now. And like for him to be doing that kind of stuff, I'm seeing him, man. He's blocking shots, like Chino said. Like he's grabbing them rebounds, man. He is grabbing them boards. And yeah, like I mean, I think he needs to improve. Obviously, free throw. When he's at the free throw line, he's not great at all. I don't know what his percentage is, but I've watched him. He's not great free throw shooter. He can work a little bit on his game. You know what I'm saying, especially in that mid range. You know what I'm saying, like when they're on defensive end, if he could work on that mid range game, that would be nice for him to put up some more points in the game and help the team a little bit more. Other players in that side like Yuta Watanabe has come through. He was a bit shaky at the start of the season, getting thrown in there at the deep end, but he's improved a lot massively. He's showing that he can score the ball as well. Like I don't even know what to say about this transformation, because now they propelled themselves as now a number 2, number 1 contender in the East. They're right up there with the Celtics, and it's going to be an interesting game tonight. But as for the actual game, like Chino, was that a foul on Jimmy Butler at the end? Was it a foul? Because I saw the clip, I saw a mad amount of contact, but was it a foul? Let us know.
Bro, it's a foul, bro. NBA saying that Jimmy went into the defender and blah blah blah. But that's a clear foul, bro. Because the defender didn't just go up; he went up and came down and clattered Jimmy. So it was a foul. The NBA is just BSing, man. It was a foul. It was a foul. Jimmy should have been shooting free throw, but Jimmy, he's not gonna complain about it. Yeah. All he's gonna say is, "I should have made the bucket." That's what he actually said.
That's what he said. Yeah, I saw the interview afterwards. Kind of just said, that's the game is the game. Like, he didn't want to complain. which I commend, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you have every right to complain. You get me? Like, it's one of those.
No, yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't really complain. He doesn't complain at all. Because a lot of times he gets fouled in the game. He just keep going. He's not like your boy Jason Tatum in the ref airs. He just get back on defense. He's not throwing no tantrum. He just go about his business. And that's why a lot of times he get texts and throughout the game because he built up frustration, and then when they finally call it, he's like he will yell at the ref like they've been effing doing that all game, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
CM, KD injury. Like it's such a big blow to the Nets, for him to be sidelined for a month. Now, I'm gonna give you one part and a two-part question, right? So, how bad is that injury for KD in terms of his season, and how does that affect the Nets like moving forward over this next month?
You know what? Because in the game, like I believe he went down a couple of times, and then the second time he went down, that's when he was clutching his knee a lot, and I was like, this isn't a good sign. But the past few seasons, KD's had a few injuries that have kept him out for a few weeks, maybe a month or so. Same with Kyrie, to be honest, beyond all of the other stuff that has kept him out. That's been the biggest issue really with the Brooklyn Nets is injuries, and of course the other stuff that have been surrounding them, the issues with James Harden, him being traded. But yeah, injuries has been the second highest issue there. And with Kevin Durant, he's done so well since coming back from that original Achilles injury, where like people basically think, hey, even if he gets injured, he's gonna come back and he's just gonna be dropping buckets. Which
Yep.
no doubt I think he will, but the ceiling of this Brooklyn Nets side lays with the fitness levels and the availability of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Of course, everybody else around can help towards that, but they're not a championship caliber side if they don't have both of them. I
Yep.
feel anyway. So I think for the Brooklyn Nets, they're gonna have to hope that when Kevin Durant comes back, they can stay fit from then until the end of the regular season throughout the playoffs. And for Kevin Durant, I think he'll be all right. I feel like it's the stage of his career where, especially after having such a significant injury, even we're seeing LeBron, who never really has had a significant injury in his career, but you're seeing now because they're getting older, your body starts to break down a little more. So you get a few bumps here and there along the way, and all of a sudden you got this injury, and you could be out. You could be on the day-to-day thing, or you could be out for a whole month. So you never know sometimes, and they're getting up there in age, unfortunately. When your body starts to break down after all of the mileage that you've covered, all of the flights, all of the NBA games, all of the buckets dropped, the blocks, the passes, all of that stuff there, it starts to pay eventually.
Yeah. It's a big miss for the Nets, and like obviously it's a shame as well because KD's he's been playing some high level basketball, and this is like finding like one of the first seasons since that injury where we're seeing the real KD like playing at that high level. But at the same time, you could say it gives him a chance to rest a little bit because obviously he's up there in age now. It gives him a chance to rest, recover, and then try and finish out the rest of the season into the playoffs, still playing at that kind of high level. Let's hope he can do that. Let's get into some more comments before we move on to the next topic. Santi saying Chino tax hit the wallet. He's saying that I can't even talk. The Rockets are 10 and 31. The thing about it is you got a young core there, man. Like it's going to be interesting. I think I seen a quote from Anthony Edwards saying that Şengün should be the guy that they kind of build their
Şengün.
bring their build their roster around, which is interesting from him. But I said,
Did you hear about Eric Gordon's comments? Where
No,
it was
I didn't.
like, so the other day, I don't remember when exactly it was, but he basically said that there's been no improvement with the side. He said same old thing all year. We have a small margin for error. It's a lot of things. It's mindset. You gotta play for one another. Do what's right by your teammates. If you do that, it'll be more fun. give yourself a better chance to win. But basically, it was just very ruthless when kind of asked to explain how things have gotten better over the season with this Rockets roster.
Definitely throwing shots at Jalen Green and
like Tempo
Porter.
yeah,
I saw a lot. And I've seen earlier in the season, Green and the new rookie that they drafted had a conflict. Like, them man, like, about to throw hands.
I mean, because that's also the kind of worry, isn't it? Because when you throw a lot of young players in together, if they're not all working together to build something within themselves, it can go wrong. And there'll be somebody saying, I feel like I'm better than you. I feel like I'm better than you. And then that's where you get situations in this game where, as you said, Gino, man are ISOing a lot because they want to just hog the ball instead of passing to the teammate that could be there open on the court.
With a young rookie coach too. It ain't no Greg Popovich or none of those OGs. It's a young rookie. Hold
on. The best way you can describe it is it's either guys are playing to develop and win, or they're playing for contracts and job security down the line.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting way to put it, to be honest with you, because it really can fall within those two lines. And yeah, man, it's interesting because obviously Jalen Green was the guy that everybody was looking at last season, to be the shining light of the team. But then some of the steps that Kevin Porter Jr.'s kind of put through this season, you're like, okay, is he the guy that they have to look through? And obviously there's players that play against these guys week in, week out, day in, day out. And then Şengün is the guy that they're saying, should be the guy. It's interesting. When you look at some of the rosters like down in Orlando or in Detroit, those younger kind of squads, like you can see with those teams, everybody's working for each other. Nobody's kind of got ahead above everybody else. Some of these teams have got number 1, number 2, 3 picks in their rosters, but they don't take that and put that as a chip on their shoulder. They're just saying, let me work hard in this and let me try and at least have a career in the NBA, because you can see how quickly it can literally flash from yourself. So it's pretty interesting. Santi said, I'm switching teams. So where you gonna go? You be switching though. I can't lie. I be seeing it sometimes. If you get Mavs and then the Rockets though, you be switching still. I can't lie. No, but yes, I need to feel better. I'll be better, man. I'll be better for sure. By saying get better sooner, rather, hopefully you can escape the racism of Boston. Hey, they're putting these allegations on me, man. I'm not involved in nothing that goes on over there in that city there, bro. I just watch the basketball because I love the basketball, bro.
But apparently Draymond, Draymond said something like in the finals he's never had so many racist remarks on the court.
I mean, look, LeBron come out when he I think he did that barbershop interview or something like that, and he was talking about how they're the most racist fans, bro, and all of this type of stuff, bro. It's a madness. I can't lie to you, fam. It is a madness. I know Kyrie was getting it as well when he was in the playoff, especially in that first game. I know for sure because I saw him like come out of character in that game as well. I can't lie to you. Big up Man's in the building. He's saying big up Rolling CM and Chino. Hope you're all good.
Bro.
I hope you're good, my bro. I hope you're good still. Santi saying is Gumbo still in New Orleans? Relax. Zion's been doing his thing. He's out injured, but he's been doing his thing this season, fam. It's just a shame he got injured. He got the hamstring strain.
Hey, Santi, no fat shaming.
None of that. Yeah, nobody shaming.
Hold on, Chino, fam. Rewind, Chino. Rewind.
Yo.
Hey, unless it's Kyle Lowry. Fat, bro, he is the worst player I've ever seen, bro. Can't wait to get rid of him, man.
It's wild. Hey, but crazy stat for you, man, isn't it? Yeah. DeRozan leading the 2-point field goals over the last decade in the league, fam. Talk to me about DeMar DeRozan, man, and like how he's basically made the mid-range his shot over the last 10 years in the NBA. I mean, we've seen the development of the player. Obviously, he was at the Spurs and he moves to Toronto, doesn't really work out, goes to the Bulls, and then we're seeing like, this could be potentially like the start of something for the Bulls, and it hasn't really worked out. But him as a player individually over the years, he's definitely shown improving the NBA. Talk to me about DeMar DeRozan, man, and like what you like about his game and everything like that.
Yeah, man. I remember them days in Toronto when in the playoffs it ended in tears, but you could see the development and the camaraderie that team had, especially in their later years with the likes of Lowry and DeMar DeRozan being the two key guys there, and seeing them just improve from younger players to veterans, getting that experience under their belt. But mainly speaking about DeMar DeRozan, I mean, mid-range killer. When you speak about some of the best scorers in that area, you have to put him in the conversation. And his ability to on a nightly basis carry his side, because we've seen it in Chicago. Really,
Mm.
he's carried them to some games. I remember in that first season, he was hitting some game winners from
Yeah,
free. Even he was carrying them, averaging a large amount of points. In this season as well, in the games, because they've kind of improved a little bit of recent times, and DeMar's going to be a big part of that. They'll still need Zach LaVine, but yeah, I mean, DeRozan from the mid range, it's money. It seems like every game you watch, whether it's the highlights, whether it's the full game, as soon as he rises up, it's a good chance of
yeah,
making it, and that's a good sign when you have a mindset and almost know that shot's gonna get hit. It doesn't matter if it's contested, anything like that. And in the end of the day, look, you can speak about the playoffs, but many great players in the past have not had great playoff series. We can speak about current day guys. We can speak about guys from yesteryear. But you gotta give people their flowers for the skill set and the way they've been able to dominate the league, because this is a free. People's talking about. People call this era the 3-point shooting. It's
yeah.
about 3-point shooting, and he's still been able to dominate. Obviously, he's got better at 3-point shooting over the years, but he's still like predominantly a mid-range guy, and he's still being able to do off that pick and roll, pick and pop, whatever he does there, and his playmaking has got a lot better over the years as well. I think in Chicago, we started to see, or in San Antonio, even though they weren't as successful of a team or contending, we started to see his leadership really start to come through, and his game expanding. And then it went to another level in that first
Mm.
year in Chicago. So, yeah, man, props to him.
Chino, what's your thoughts on DeMar DeRozan, man? Like that mid range is as CM says, it's cash money every time he hits it. Like,
Hey, that that punk fake gotta be lemon pepper wings, boy. Cause motherfuckers be biting on it now.
trust me.
Hey, that pump fake all up in his grill still
Yeah,
hit N1. Like
yeah.
it's his mid range. DeMar DeRozan from mid range is Steph Curry from three. It's
Mm.
just lethal. Like it's just and you could tell like, and it's not even the mid range. People thought, oh, he's hitting the shot. It's the footwork. Like whenever he plays again, just take a moment. Don't look at the ball. Don't look at his upper body. Look at his footwork, bro. Just look at his foot. Right, it's crazy. The footwork is elite, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have the footwork to not like travel and drag your pivot and all that type of stuff. Like DeMar DeRozan, he's gonna get his. He's easy. He can get you 30 from the mid range alone every
Mm.
night. Like that's he's leading the league last year from the mid range. Just like the league top scorer, one of the top scorer in the league, like halfway through last year, and
Mm.
he wasn't really shooting threes. Like for a guy to average 28 a game without shooting threes. That's ridiculous. That show you how high level he's shooting that.
No, Chino was gonna get it. He's gonna
Dude,
get it, fam. He's
nah.
gonna
Leave our
get
guy
it.
Chino alone,
Yeah,
man.
man. Like, I don't know why they doing this thing, fam. I don't know why they doing this thing. He's gonna have to pop out and come back in. But yeah, man, I think DeRozan has been doing this for a long time. But like, I think he's hit his
Oh, I can't be paying money for internet like this. It's ridiculous. No. But yeah, so But when it comes to DeMar DeRozan, just like his counterpart that we have in Miami right now, well, his counterpart's stinker. But them guys, they're gonna do this. They're gonna get you in the playoff. But when the playoff come, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When the playoff come, it's gonna be. But I do think if the Lakers had went for DeRozan
I was gonna say this.
over like a Westbrook or something, and had DeRozan, LeBron, and AD, it would have took a lot of pressure off both LeBron and AD scoring wise, and maybe that would have helped their body keep them healthy instead of them banging DeMar DeRozan. Because the thing is, right, with DeMar DeRozan, then a lot of people's gonna be like, oh, nah, where the 3 point shooting, like, it's gonna be too crowded, blah blah blah. AD and LeBron, it doesn't matter because you could double team DeMar and he's still gonna get his in that mid range. It
Yeah,
doesn't really matter.
yeah,
Like, he's gonna get his bucket. He's an elite mid range scorer. Like, he's very elite at it. But I don't. I think the Bulls too, man. I think they gotta blow it up because Lonzo Ball just mess up their whole. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, man, because Lonzo, the talent is there defensively and offensively. He got vision too, boy. He can play. Lonzo Ball can play. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his dad do get overboard sometimes, but his kids ain't no scrub other than the one that's not in the league, obviously, because he is a scrub. Um, but yeah, I think that's what the Bulls, they're not gonna go too far. And now Levine is saying he want to get out. So I think DeMar might be in another situation that he was with San Antonio. So I think the Bulls might be looking to blow it up soon. You know what I'm saying? With him and Levine going to like a contender, just do
yeah.
a rebuild. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan mid range is elite, man. Shout out to him.
You know what's interesting, right? So obviously he signed the an 81 million contract with the Bulls in 2021, and apparently he was waiting for the call to go to the Lakers. Like, he was like pretty much ready, like when he was leaving um what was it, Toronto, and he was literally waiting on that call to go to the Lakers, and it just never came through. So the situation came, and he was able to go to the Bulls, and he took it. And then obviously the Lakers ended up taking Russell Westbrook, and the rest is history. But like, do you reckon that him not winning a championship will hurt his legacy as a player in the NBA, or can we overlook that for the individual talent that he's been able to show, and some of the contributions he's made to the teams he's played for as well?
I think I look at things a lot differently when it comes to players and their skill sets and stuff like that. Where a lot of the time you look at the media and a player like Demar probably 10, 15 years down the line, you won't really hear a lot about him, Demar DeRozan,
Mm,
except for the odd clip on like them vintage basketball Twitter accounts and stuff like that, where they
mm,
bring up the mid range and they got that vintage a clip. But nah, definitely you can look at the player and see the talent, the skill set, and what he's given to the game, what he's provided for fans of multiple teams. The years in Toronto, one of the greatest Raptors of all time. People, I know after they won the chip, people said that Kyle Lowry was the greatest Raptor of all time. And that can be up in the air depending on who you ask, because obviously you got DeMar DeRozan, who gave you some wonderful years. I remember that season, that regular season they had when everything just clicked. And he had that poster game when I think it was against Detroit.
mm.
But yeah, I mean, some people say Vince as well. But yeah, I mean, San Antonio. I know Greg Popovich speaks of him highly and what he was able to give, even though, like what we said before, it wasn't really successful years in terms of winning and getting to the playoffs and competing. But
Mm.
just being that veteran figure around that team, it helps. And then again, he goes to Chicago and he's doing what he's doing. Now things haven't completely fallen in place for them, except for that wonderful start that they had in the first year with everybody together. But once again, we're seeing a constant, which is him being consistent and trying to get his team to win on a nightly basis, and I can appreciate that as a fan.
Do you know what do you think? Is his legacy going to be hurt by no chip, or can we just look at his game and appreciate it over the course of his career?
Who you talking about?
DeMar DeRozan.
Well, it's kind of sad. DeMar DeRozan, shout out to him. As a person, I really like the guy, man. If you man don't know his story, you man should really check his story out. Like the chat too, he's a guy that suffered from depression and stuff. He's from like Compton, like he's seeing his friends die and stuff. He's a very good guy, and I know it was hard for him to get traded from Toronto because what he built there, and then they go on and win the championship the next year. And people, the agendas and the trollers, and they will say, "Oh yeah, he's rubbish. Look, they trade." They don't really know basketball. Like they just do it for the Twitter, to rile people up and stuff. But that was a very unfortunate situation. I do believe if it was Kyle Lowry got traded and DeMar DeRozan was there with Kawhi, nothing would have been changed. It would have probably been an easier way to win the ring, honestly. I think they could have meshed in DeMar and Kawhi together, honestly, because what did Kyle Lowry really do? He literally did nothing. DeMar would have did more. You know what I'm saying? You would have had two elite scorers. You know what I'm saying? You could get the ball to on either side of the elbows, mid-range, like it would have been ridiculous. But
Gotta give
like
Kyle
before,
Lowry, sorry, bro. You gotta give Kyle Lowry some credit in that championship run, bro.
no, Fred VanVleet was the one that was guarding Steph Curry. He was the one that was pulling up, hitting shots. Klay Thompson, was it his ACL at the time? His ACL. Klay Thompson ACL blowing out too. But Kyle Lowry is nothing but a fat, big booty guy. Just run.
Nah.
Don't disrespect him, please, because
We
he's
at
rubbish.
Pros Only Sports do not condone the thoughts,
yeah.
We
We
don't.
don't, man. We don't, man.
But yeah, listen though. Let's talk about real hooping, man. Let's not take away from DeMar DeRozan. He's a real hooper. For Kyle Lowry is a bum.
Don't do this, man. Don't do this.
Listen, DeMar DeRozan. It won't his.
They shut him down.
They shut him down, fam. They shut him down.
Hey.
No, it's the baby. It won't be like Allen Iverson legacy is not tarnished, right? It's not because he's AI.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan legacy won't be like that, but
it's not gonna be on the same level as AI, because you see, AI is not just the basketball though; it's the off court as well, bro. Like this is like AI's aura, like some of the things he did off the court, like the way he dressed, just the attitude and all of that. Like DeMar's for the most part, a very straight laced kind of. He's a family man. We know his background and all of that. He's had some unfortunate situations whilst on the court, injuries, this, that, and the other. He's bounced back. We can appreciate that, but then we could never say, all right, well, he's on the same level as somebody who hasn't won a chip, like Allen Iverson.
No, he's not. No, he's not. But just the comparison with when it comes to AI, DeMar is not. AI is one of like the greats. Like AI changed basketball. Like AI was that good for his height too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For his height too, it was a lot of odds against him, and the hard stocks against him. And for a guy that didn't like practice, he still went out there. But what I'm trying to say, when I'm gonna wrap it up, is DeMar DeRozan's legacy will always be intact because people will just remember him as an elite scorer in the mid-range. So that will be there. A lot of Twitter will forget about him.
Yeah,
Twitter will forget about him. Those idiots, the people who just the statisticians and the ring counts and the blah, But people who appreciate the game, a lot of the hoop head, like a lot of when like LeBron,
yeah,
these KD, these guys, you know what I'm saying? These big guys in basketball, these figureheads in basketball, like the Shaqs and those guys that's already retired, they would appreciate him because they know what he is. So in the basketball world, within the real hoopers, his legacy will be intact.
mm,
When it comes to the fans, it's gonna be 50-50. But I do think though, don't sleep on DeMar, man. I do think DeMar get traded to a contender and get a ring though. Don't
mm.
sleep on him. I think he got about 4 more years in the tank. Like shooting
Mm.
them. Oh my god, no.
Oh, he's gone. They got him again.
Man.
They got him again. All right, we're gonna move on. I think I know what he was gonna say. He's got some years in the tank. He can still do something with that mid range shot. Because obviously there's no contest sometimes. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get those and ones, or he'll get the shot in if there's no call. But let's move on. Jalen Brunson has returned. For the New York Knicks. He returned at the beginning of the year. And through that beginning of the year, he scored 39, 40. Sorry, he scored 24. 38, 26, 44, and last night 34 against the Pacers. He's really showing himself as a proper figure. Jalen Brunson. Since moving to the Knicks in the off season. Like, what do you man think of his kind of like his start in New York? Like, because there was a lot of talk about that contract that they gave him was 100 million over 4 years. For somebody that it's a huge jump for somebody who was getting, I think it was like a guaranteed 5 million or something like that when he was at the Mavs. And he's basically kind of taken on that mantelpiece as the main guy because, RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, were looked at as the kind of franchise players at the Knicks, and they've not really lived up to their full potential. I mean, I know Julius Randle got Sixth Man of the Year. When was it? Maybe 2 seasons ago. No, sorry, no, not Sixth Man of the Year. Most improved
Most
player.
improved.
Sorry, a couple of years ago as well. So, what do you think of Jalen Brunson's return from injury and how he's performing so far this season for the Knicks?
Yeah, he's stepped up big time. I mean, for the most part, this season he's had some really good games. There have been some rough moments, which I think is a reflection of the whole Knicks roster at times. But they've been playing really well as a team recently. Julius Randle, he's playing well. The teams hitting shots when they're like that, and Jalen Brunson coming back is a big part of that, averaging 33.2 points per game since his return, which is crazy, and he has the confidence he can score from mid range, from free, and then he's very dangerous in that pick and roll mid range pop area where he can use his body to kind of get in front of the defender, use his back to just shield himself, and then take that mid range J or float it up or find the pass. So he's really good, really active in that regard, and he was getting some assists, some crazy assists where he'd be getting double teamed and throwing it out to the open man. That's just what he's capable of, and elevating his game. And it was crazy, yeah, in that one because the Knicks ended up losing in the end. I think it was against the Bucks, and it was basically the Knicks. They just didn't shoot well. They shot 26%
Mm,
from free, almost 27%. Randall struggled with his shooting. He was 1 for 12 from free alone. The only other really good contribution from a points value was Emmanuel Quickly with 23.
mm,
So Jalen Brunson really carried them in that regard, and they were up for a little bit in the game before the Bucks came back and eventually ran away with it. But speaking about Jalen Brunson, like you said, bro, there were a lot of questions going into this season saying, hey, New York, you did it with Fournier, for example, where you
yeah.
expected him to be this massive improvement on the team. You wanted to improve the shooting and the scoring, but then you sacrificed the defensive toughness and solidity that you had built up in that first year when Randall was an all-star and everybody was enjoying themselves, winning games, and you got back to the playoffs. Well, I feel like quickly he brings that toughness, he brings that scoring aspect, and he's just a straight up competitor. And you love to see it because that's another situation where you see the outside noise. Of course, you got paid, and sometimes you see when guys get paid, they kind of become lackadaisical because say, okay, I'm here now. I can chill, I can do what I need to do. But no, Jalen Brunson is a character where he's going to see the outside noise and he's going to bet on himself even more to say, listen, I can do this and then some, and he's been able to do that as of late.
Boy, Chino, Jalen Brunson, man, has he surprised you this season? Gone off to basically be his own man and not be in the shadow of Luka. Even though, to be honest with you, even if he was at the Mavs, he'd still be in the shadow anyway, regardless of how he's playing. But what do you think of his return from injury as well, like, and how he's contributed for the Knicks as a whole this season?
Don't care. It's the Knicks. Can't wait for them to start losing.
They're in the playoff positions at the moment, man. They're straight in there, bro. Not even the play, man. They're doing all right this season. I can't lie.
Shout out to Brunson. Very good player. You know, a lot of people say did he deserve the money. He definitely did work for his contract. Personally, I wouldn't have gave it to him, but I mean, you can never be mad at a guy for earning his contract, even if it's one season. And it will be that's on the team to be stupid to pay it after one season. But he did earn the contract. He did earn the contract. And hello, you are not part of this show. Okay, 1 second.
Nah, that's all good, man. But I hear what you're saying, man. Jalen Brunson, he's been balling alone. May that continue. The New York Knicks right now, they're in the 6th seed, 23-19 as we speak. So let's see how far they can go because you know they've reached the playoffs a couple of times. First year there was a lot of optimism. Julius Randle was their all-star, their main guy, and he was the guy that took that jump. And it didn't really work out, and it hasn't really worked out for them, like what we said. But if they're able to maybe prove some doubters like Chino wrong, then you never know what they can do. I don't think they're contenders, be personally, but they're definitely a team that can shock a couple people if they ain't on their P's and Q's in the playoffs, if they do reach, because there's still a lot of this season to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, who play each other? 4 and 5 play each other in the playoffs?
Yeah, so it's one and 6. Wait, what? No, sorry, what? It's 1 and 6. No, it's 1 and 8. Sorry,
1 and 8,
Whoever
2
was
and
it,
7,
8?
3 and 6,
3 and
6,
yeah.
4 and 5.
4 and 5, yeah.
I want us and them to finish 4 and 5, and I promise you, we will mash the Knicks up. We will literally.
I can't lie, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch because obviously, you know, when
there's a rivalry.
You see, last time they was in the playoffs, you see how New York was moving crazy when they was there. Like, it'll be fun to watch. That's all I'm saying. It'll be fun to watch. All right, let me get into these comments and then we'll move on to the next topic. Manje saying, subscribe to Pause Only Sports. Hey, watch last week's episode. You will see bare pause worthy moments from Chino. Make sure you watch last week's episode. You'll catch what he's saying.
Hey, from CM2, it wasn't just me.
Yeah. There was one more from CM as well. Still, you're right, Chino. Hey, but big up Manje as well, man. He says Chino got the duplication glitch. Hey, nah, they've been getting you on the internet today, boy. I can't lie,
bro. It's Xfinity. If you're in the US, never get Xfinity. They're horrible.
Mad things. And big up Wow Factor says, how you doing, Rolling CM and Chino? My team, the Suns are in trouble, but it's understandable. 6 players out, CP3D Book, Cameron Johnson, and plus there's no rotation and the back-to-backs, and then you beat Golden State yesterday. Yeah, they beat Golden State yesterday as well, which is kind of crazy as well. Without all those players, it's crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. I hope you're good though, Wow Factor, still. He's saying, Manje saying, hit the like button and subscribe button. Yes, people, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. The trades are being worked on by the Suns for Crowder, potentially Ayton, and anyone else who hasn't been playing well. Which, we kind of discussed that at the beginning of the show. You know, some moves have to be made by the Suns if they want to try and salvage this season. I don't think they can just allow this to continue To be honest with you, otherwise it's not going to be a great season. They'll probably end up in the play-in and then have to fight their way into the playoffs if it continues that way. Can they just blow it up now and try and get rid of some of these players and try and move forward? But saying that anyone else who hasn't been playing well, or the Suns will drive a hard bargain, but the deal will be done with Houston most likely, as they are bad. That's going to be interesting because who goes over there to come over to your side? Let me know. Big up man like Football Power Hour. He says big up guys, big up yourself. Big up man like Realist. He's saying Demar the mid range is sick. I can't lie. Big up Realist, man. Make sure you go subscribe to Realist _United on YouTube. Him and CM have got the United Tropics podcast as well. So make sure you check those out as well. And also make sure you go over to Twitch and follow him as well.
Big up Realist, man, the New York Knicks fan, you know what I'm saying?
Russell Westbrook, his last 4 games, not counting any game that they may have played, he picked up 25.7 rebounds and 7 assists, 23.5 rebounds, 15 assists, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists as well in that game. Is he now a genuine contender for 6th man of the year? I mean, I remember when started off starting games, it wasn't really working out for the Lakers. They moved into the bench, coming on in games and whatnot, and now he's really contributing off the bench. And there was talk about Darwin Ham saying, "I want to make the year." Is he now a genuine contender for that? Because there's a number of players that are on that list. You could look at Malcolm Brogdon for the Celtics. He's done really well off the bench this season. I'm trying to think about some other players as well who's really done well off the bench this season.
Mathurin.
Yeah, Mathurin's done really well. He could potentially get that.
Miles Turner's coming off the bench. Is he coming off the bench?
He's been doing it in some games. I don't know if it's because of injury or not, but I'm just trying to think who else has been good off the bench this season for. Let me see.
No. All right, cool. He's been started this season.
Oladipo. It hasn't been a lot of games yet, though. But
with the injuries, but
I think by the time the season ends, if Depot keep it up, he might be in the conversation too, man. But Depot been good. But no,
Jordan Poole. He's done pretty well. Jordan Poole's done pretty well. Norman Powell.
Norman Powell.
Mm-hmm. I'd say those. Maybe Christian Wood, but I think he starts games too, though. So it's like, I don't know why they would put him in there. Bobby Portis, maybe for the Bucks. Malik Monk, even though
Bobby.
Malik Monk.
Let me say this real quick. Russ been a scapegoat for the Lakers fans. And obviously, as the team like the Lakers, I mean, how many between you and them? They have 20? They have 20. You have 18, or how is it? Like the time?
I think we tied.
Yeah,
17.
18 or 19?
I think is it 18? I think
it's 17. The Lakers have 17.
Oh, they were 17. Then I think we're one. I think we're one ahead. I think we're tied.
Or 17 or something like that.
Yeah, 17 tied.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the Lakers, they want to win. You know what I'm saying? They want to win. But they don't remember when Kobe had them horrible teams. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they do remember, but they talk like they've been amazing like over the past 10 years. Lakers haven't been amazing. Yeah, they won that ring in 2020. But I feel like Russ has been left out to be a scapegoat. Because Russ is not a bad player. Say what you want about him. Yes. Last year, it was like Russ was blowing wide open dunks and layup. You could tell something was off. I think mentally he was drained. Honestly, like it was just so much. But he went in the lab. He put his head down. They said, we're going to bring you off the bench. He no complaints. He's just been working. And It's showing. It's showing. And the Laker fans want to blame Russ and blame this and blame AD. But let's be honest, bro. We know when the money is spent on the main guys, there's not a lot of money to give out.
Mm,
But there's still lots of good role player who would want to play with a LeBron and AD. And the Lakers have not been good. Palenka is living off that he's Kobe's best friend. That's the only juice he's living off of. He got no juice.
mm,
Like he's pulling no pull. The Lakers haven't done a good job at building a better team,
mm,
a better guys to help Russ and help LeBron and AD because Russ has always been like Russ and KD have always been one of my favorite. You know what I'm saying from OKC days. Love both of them, and I've always tell people say Russ sold, but KD sold against the Warriors and then left Russ out to hang the other year and join the Warriors. He did not sold people if you go back and watch that series, but he have not. Then I think the Lakers now they have a few guys that when he comes in like Thomas Bryant, they're running with him. You
mm,
need guys like that to run. Russ is gonna grab the board and run. You have to
mm,
run. So when you run, if the defense collapse on him, he give it to you, and that's all he get is assists and stuff. And people think,
mm,
oh no, he stat pad and get triple double. Like some games he does, you see it, but some games it just happen naturally. He's a guy he likes to go get the board on the defensive end. He
mm,
likes to grab it and just run
mm,
and get downfield, get down the court, and either he gets a layup because he the athleticism or if you're running with him, he would dump it off to you and you get a wide open dunk because the defense is um zoned in on him. Like that's what used to happen in OKC with Steven Adams. As much as
mm.
look at Steven Adams, because even Steven Adams' contribution go unnoticed for the what's the team, the Grizzlies,
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies, yeah.
because he's not like Ja and the Dylan Brooks, and he's not flashy and gritty, and he's just a very who
He
Steven
be,
Adams, very
yeah,
weird guy. Like
but he be
he's
grabbing
just
them boards though.
huh.
He be grabbing them boards though, like
Exactly.
gripping them
Like,
down.
you know what I'm saying? So Steven Adams used to run with Russ. Like,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? As big as he is, he used to run, get down the court with Russ and get rewarded about it. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? The Lakers haven't built nothing like that. Like when AD's healthy, he's not running. He's walking up the court. He's
mm,
lazy.
mm.
It's you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do think Russ should be the favorite for 6 man of the year, man. Shout out to Russ, CM guy, you know. But yeah, I'm
I,
gonna let
I
CM
mean,
cook.
this CN's favorite player, so I know he's got a lot to say on it. But like, what's your thoughts on Russ's transition from a starter into a bench player, and now the front runner for 6 man of the year?
I think it's commendable, and it shows the character that he is. No doubt, a lot of people, including myself, was worried when you saw how his career was going in a LA shirt. And to be fair, I'm still kind of nervy when it comes to him in LA because I don't think long term it's gonna work out. They're still way behind getting even in a playing scenario. And of course, they've been better recently, but a lot needs to improve in that regard. And Chino, you touched on that as well, Roland. But speaking about his play, I know at times he can be a high turnover guy, and it depends. To be fair, a lot of the time, but when he's clicking. Russell Westbrook, he's a triple double machine. He can rebound it, get up court, finish in transition, which again he's been able to improve upon and use his energy. He had a dunk the other night, which was just vintage Westbrook
Mm,
driving right down the lane and throwing it down on top of anybody's head top. That was literally vintage Westbrook right there. And his ability to play make, like I said, even though sometimes he'll have nights of turnovers where he has like 6, 7
mm,
turnovers, there'll be nights where he plays really well and he contributes to that side winning. And he's a big part of that with his energy. And like I said, it's commendable that a guy that was up here is able to take a step back, even though it does take a little bit,
Mm,
but take a step back and say, listen, if I'm gonna contribute to this team being better in this position, then I'm gonna do that. It took such a long time for Carmelo Anthony to accept that. I remember in OKC, people were saying, should you come off the bench? And he was in the press conference talking about off the bench, like all of them things there. Like he didn't want to come off the bench for
mm.
the teams because he thought, I'm Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
the
yeah.
hell am I coming off the bench? But no, when you reach a certain point in your career and you have to make sacrifices, that's the most important thing. Now,
Mm,
of course, there are superstar players who can make sacrifices while being a star and while being still a top player. But
mm,
just using Carmelo as an example, his athleticism had gone down by then. Still a good scorer, but defensively, he wasn't that guy, and that led to those years in the Lakers, for example, where he's coming off the bench maybe and being that spark plug.
mm,
Well, Westbrook in this situation, he realized that, and he still has a lot to offer in his career, in my opinion.
mm.
In terms of the athleticism, he still has the playmaking in the right scenarios. Though I feel like he's always been relatively a high turnover guy,
Mm.
but if you can limit that and maximize his playmaking opportunities, his chances to drive to the rim, finish, kick it out to an open teammate for free, then
Mm.
that's how you're going to get the best out of him. And I don't think you're going to do that on this roster. Now, his turnaround's been remarkable, don't get me wrong. But just looking long term, was it the best move for him? Was it the best move for the Lakers? I don't think so.
It was like a bit of a marriage of things. So like obviously the Lakers were like, we need to get a big three. That was their whole thing because you know how it is, isn't it? Like it's LA, isn't it? It's bright lights and superstars, and everyone's coming down to the crypto arena and all of that, and everyone's on
Mm.
court side. It's all the celebrities and that, so they want to have names. And then for Russ, I think it was more of a I've had a year in Washington. I've done a good service to the organization. I've put up good numbers. We didn't make it to the playoffs. I still feel like I can contribute at a top team, a contender. I get to join AD and LeBron, and I get to go back home as well because let's not forget that's where he's from. So from that perspective, I understand it. From a branding and it's where LA and not necessarily a basketball kind of decision, but more on that side. And then for him as in his personal life, it was a good marriage. It just didn't mesh well when it came to how it was on the court. And obviously, you got to say credit to Darwin Ham to kind of make the switch kind of early on in his tenure, like to say, you know what, we'll move you to the bench because I think generally it's very structural, right? It's LeBron has the ball when he's on the court, he has the ball in his hands. It's not gonna be the point guard. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be LeBron uh, mainly, and so Russ has had to adjust to that. And yeah, as you said, it's commendable because obviously some people, their ego will get in the way and they won't make that adjustment. We've seen it like not in. We've seen it in another sport. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't want to be a bench player for Man United, and so he was throwing his tantrums and all of that type of stuff instead of adjusting for the sake of the team.
Life been great without him too.
I mean, yeah, trust me, it has been. I can't lie, but I think, yeah, he's definitely a contender for that sixth man of the year because he's still showing some of the ability that we've seen from him over the years, even though he's kind of lost a bit of that explosiveness. We still see it in different moments on the court, as you said. We've seen him dunking this season, blowing past players at times, and still doing the same thing that he's been doing, just in terms of pushing the pace, pushing the ball up the court whenever he grabs that rebound on the defensive end. So yeah, man, he's a genuine contender for sure, but he's got some good candidates around him and whatnot. So we'll have to wait and see. What did you, man, think of those comments? So after that game that they won, they was all in the locker room and they were saying, that was what 5 wins in a row. It was like everybody's like, yeah, let's get greedy. Everybody's dapping each other up, yeah. And he goes, and he stops everybody and goes, guys, when you go out there, let's just have fun. And then the camera pans to LeBron, and LeBron's face he was dapping man up, and he was looking like, yo, nah, I'm trying to win, like, type of thing. Yeah. What did you man think of that kind of little clip that went out there? Man, what was your thoughts? That was interesting. I can't lie to you, because the messaging seemed a bit off.
Yeah, I hear what people will probably say about the clip and the faces and the timing of the comment. But I'm gonna take it a little differently, because you know what? I thought about it. And I could have came on here and said, hey, you know what I mean? This is a mentality thing, kind of like I know what a lot of people would be saying. But at the same time, you got to think about it. And this is something that is brought up, but it's not brought up a lot of the time. You got a lot of these guys, some inexperienced, playing in a place like LA, big market. The eyes are always on you. When you're not shooting, you got guys like Snoop Dogg cussing you out. I mean, I remember that video when he was like, yo, Danny Green, fam, them man need to start shooting. If you ain't doing your job, you have man like Snoop Dogg cussing you out, fam. All of these celebrities all of a sudden coming at your neck on social media, fam. You know what I mean?
That is crazy, fam. Yo.
Nah. Like, there's massive pressure playing in LA, and then, for example, you're a teammate of LeBron James. This guy, it's been well documented that he's probably gonna pass that Kareem record real soon.
Yep.
He's one of the best players in the world, one of the greatest players of all time. There's always been that level of aura and pressure when it comes to playing with LeBron James, whether you go back to the Cleveland days, especially in that second stint in Cleveland, Miami, coming back here for the Lakers. Remember that young team that he kind of came to, so much pressure on guys like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, who ended up being the one who stayed and won a championship with them.
Yep.
But just so much pressure on a lot of people. So I understood why people wouldn't like it, but I kind of respected those comments from Russell Westbrook, because that's a guy who's seen it all. He's been there. He's an MVP. He's been at the top of the mountain, not in terms of championships, but being, you know, the best player in the regular season, being on one of the better teams, being in the NBA finals and trying to contend for a championship. And you guys, you understand the pressure. So as a veteran, you can kind of listen to those comments and say, well, yeah, when you're on the basketball court, you have to express yourself, and you don't want to give in to the pressure, because if you do, then you start to suppress your basketball style and your skills. You want to express yourself even with the players that you're playing with, in LeBron, in AD, and in Russell Westbrook. You want to be able to do that. So I saw it from a different kind of perspective, where I was like, listen, I'm looking at the room, I'm reading the room. Of course, we want to win games, but also we want to, when you win games, you have fun. When you have fun, you end up winning games. And that's what you need to do. Everybody needs to be together. But first and foremost, you have fun and you win games while having fun, because everybody's expressing themselves, everybody's doing their thing and playing to the best of their abilities.
Hey, Chino, did you see that clip, bro? Like, let me know your thoughts on it.
No, I didn't see it. I'm kind of.
Nah, so yeah, so I'm gonna send it to you. Let me see if I don't know if I sent it into the group or not, but let me see if I can send it to you real quick so that you can
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Let me see if I can do this real quick.
The clip that I did see is the mechanic, Vibe's favorite player.
Yo, that was wild. That was a wild one. I can't lie, man.
I think I sent a link in the chat if anybody wants to see it.
Yes. It's a bit wild. All right, but then let's kind of move on to the last topic. LeBron's ESPN interview, and like basically the breakdown. So what was that? So obviously he had his impromptu interview with ESPN, just kind of like discussing, you know, potentially breaking the scoring record this season, maybe seeing his son playing in the league with him. And then there were some other interesting topics as well. So what did you think about the LeBron interview? Did you catch it? Was there any like specific quotes that you kind of caught out of it and whatnot that was pretty interesting? You know, like obviously talking about, you know, him staying playing at this level, even at the age of 38 and stuff like that. Wanting to win, at least another championship before he bows out of the game and whatnot. What was your thoughts on the interview?
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable just looking back and seeing how he speaks about certain things. I remember at one point he was asked, "Did you ever think about kind of breaking this record?" And he said, "Nah, because I've always been a pass first guy. I've always wanted to see the excitement and the success of my teammates, and that was one thing that kind of, like everybody's got to look at and really realize the greatness of the player, because." For a guy who's always focused on playmaking and elevating the levels of his teammates, you kind of seeing something in regards to Luka in Dallas, where he elevates his teammates on top of being able to score and impact the game on all levels, which is another thing LeBron alluded to. He's just so great that he can afford to do that. He passes, he gets other guys going, he scores the ball, rebounds it. He always wanted to be that triple threat kind of guy, which is another thing he says, and he's been able to do that even now, 30 in his late 30s, and he's still doing that in his career for the Lakers. But yeah, that was cool. He spoke about one of his most iconic shots, and he mentioned that game winner in the playoffs against Orlando, top of the key, just taking that one for the game winner, and that was a great moment in his career. I mean, for me, I look at so many things. I remember that game winner against Toronto, one-legged fadeaway off glass. I mean, the game winner against Indiana. There's so many moments.
Man.
So many moments. He speaks about the game winner against Golden State when he hits the silencer. Iconic moments from LeBron. It's crazy. I remember the dunk he had against the Boston Celtics in the playoffs when he was back in Cleveland originally. Just that explosiveness and it's crazy because when he dunks the ball, especially when he was younger, you could hear that bucket just explode. That's how much power he had on him and the bounce as well. But
LeBron James 2012 Game 6 in the TD Garden.
45.
I still be cringing, bro. I can't lie to you. I still be cringing.
45 piece.
I still be cringing at that, bro. Yo,
I saw your face.
Bro, because I be catching highlights. Like you'll be putting that game up all the time on Twitter. So I be scrolling through and I see it, and I definitely click the link and watch it, bro. Cause I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
But LeBron's the GOAT, man. Shout out. You know what, bro? You know what? Only thing I want from LeBron now in his career. Only thing I want from LeBron. I don't care, Santi. I don't know if you're in the chat. You could say you pull up to a girl 6 times and you did it 6 times and you go 9 times and you only get it 4 times. I don't care, Santi. He's better than that bald head, washed up GM owner will ever be because he's rubbish. Listen,
yo, chill, bro.
Only thing I want from Bron, right? But the thing is, I'll never get it because you have such a lovely wife and a beautiful family. And you're gonna have to sin bin me rolling for a couple minutes. Hold on.
I'm sin binning.
I want Bron to fuck Skip Bayless' wife. And shut him up, man. Somebody needs to shut him up, bro. He needs to leave Bron alone. He needs to leave LeBron alone. No, he needs to leave LeBron alone, man.
No, Chino, you're crazy, man. What the
I know. Why does Chino do this, man?
Nah, Chino, you're mad, fam. No way, fam. Oh my days, fam.
Man, Jay said, end the stream, babe. End the stream.
Nah, that is so funny, bro.
Bro, no, because No, listen. I'm tired of it, man. I'm
You know what's
tired
so
of it,
funny?
bro.
You know what's actually funny about that? Yeah, you know when Skip made that tweet about the NFL player that had the cardiac arrest and that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? The next day when they was on the show with him and Shannon now, yeah, man was talking about, yeah, I love LeBron. Me and the wife, if LeBron is playing, we don't have dinner, we watch LeBron. I'm just like, bro, where was all of this? So this is a professional hater thing. This thing that you be doing, it's an act in it because
It is an act. It is an
it's
act.
just for you to be doing up, content and all of that, bro. So like, why are you being a professional hater for, bro? It's wild. So like,
And I think Braun know that's why Braun don't acknowledge him.
you don't acknowledge it. Yeah,
I
yeah. It's
think Braun
wild, bro.
know.
That's wild.
Yeah, but most of the times he go overboard because it will have nothing to do with LeBron, bro. And he will wake up and he'll be like, "Yeah, a bird shit on my car. I think LeBron sent the bird to shit on my car." Like, bro, that has nothing to do with Braun, bro. Like, leave this man alone.
Yeah, that's funny as hell, man. I can't lie to you. Hey, let's get into these comments and we're gonna wrap this show up still. Wild fact to saying, Hiron, the Houston one has been agreed yet. Hasn't been agreed yet. Two big rumors. Jay Crowder for Kuzma in the Wizards. Not sure if it would happen. But I like the one with Jalen McDaniels from the Hornets. Yeah, that's interesting because Kuzma's been hinting at trying to leave DC. So that'd be interesting if he was to end up
Cause
at the
it's a
Spurs.
heater, bro. Trust me. Cause it's a heater.
Hey, trust me. Let's see who the Hornets want in return, as they're the third worst team. I think the Hornets are even bottom of the standings in the East now, as far as I remember. And we need to renew Cam Johnson's contract because he was a first round pick, but Jay Crowder's contract is a problem. He wants a playoff team. I mean, yeah, we discussed that a bit earlier. How he's looking for something a lot more than maybe his worth is. People are discussing if Trey Young would come to the Suns to improve the offense even more,
Hold on.
or
Hold
or
on. Hold
even
on. Hold on. Hold
go
on.
on, go on, go on,
Hold on. I know we're talking basketball, but I have to bring this to you, man. Attention.
go on.
So someone just tweeted, right? Bruno first season. I know it's just football, real quick.
Go on.
Bruno first season as captain, and we win a trophy after 6 years, right? And then someone comment. You know the picture of young Ronaldo when he had the earrings and he was playing for Portugal and he was
Yeah,
crying. Someone say, Maguire coming on in the final 5 minutes. Take the captain off, man.
nah, nah. You know what? You know what's so funny about that? Yeah, just off topic. Somebody said, "Hey, if we win that League Cup or whatever, any trophy this season, yeah, it's not cancelling out Maguire's loser mentality or loser record, fam. Like, it's
Nah,
only
he
one.
ain't got nothing
They,
to do
they
with
say
this.
it's only chalked off one of those relegations, fam. We don't erase the whole history, fam. It's mad. The people hate
Yeah,
that guy so much. It's so
no, my bad, guys. I just thought that was funny, man.
That was hilarious, man. People are discussing if Trey Young would come to the Suns to improve the offense even more, or CJ from the Pels, who's on fire. He is on fire right now. He'd fit our team straight away as we're a 3-point shooting team. Yo, he was putting on a clinic yesterday against the Celtics. Lie, woo!
Time
CJ
out though. CJ, but CJ just signed an extension. They gave him an extension.
Yeah, they actually did. Yeah,
Last
you're
year
right.
they did.
No, yeah, you're right.
They
He
did give
actually
him
did
an
sign.
extension.
Yeah,
And I don't think CJ. Listen, the thing with CJ McCollum is right
free
with him
extension.
and Dame. Just to off topic real quick.
Mm.
CJ CJ has always been elite at scoring. Him and Dame, that 1-2 punch. The thing is, they were always getting. The West was so much stronger when they were at their best. CJ and Dame.
Mm.
The West was strong. Like they had to go through OKC with KD and Russ, and then that got dismantled, and then it was the Warriors, that Warriors super team. You know what I'm saying? So I I I I never thought CJ is a bad player, and people I know a lot of people was writing him off when he went to the Pels, but I knew he was gonna get that team playing better basketball. And that's why in the beginning everybody was like, "Yo, why isn't Zion reach out to this guy yet?" Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a vet, one of the best vet around the league, well liked by a lot of people. Very good player. This is a guy you should reach out to instantly and start building that chemistry for that pick and roll. Because CJ is a very good player, man. I don't think the Pels ain't letting him go. Like, wow factor. You trying to get some people in the Suns, but big man, you better tell your GM James Johnson to suit up and get out there, kids.
Bro.
That's the only thing. I ain't getting nobody. Oh, y'all need to come get elite sniper Duncan Robinson off our hand, man. I do you one better. I send Duncan, Kyle Lowry, Max Struess, and you give me Devin Booker.
Hey,
Hey, hey, fam, that is crazy still. Let me get into these last few comments still. Man, like, and then big up NN in the building. What you saying, my bro? MVP.
No, NN is a fraud.
I said, talk on the leading MVP candidate. Hey, I don't know if that, I don't think it's
Wait,
MVP.
was that on the topics?
No, that wasn't topic.
Yeah.
Nah, there's actually one more topic, actually. Chino, you mentioned something yesterday that the Miami Heat went 40 free throws.
40 for 40, bro.
40 for
bro.
40. Historic night in the NBA. Talk to me, man. I didn't see it. I didn't see it until you mentioned it. I had to go back and do my research on it. But talk to me, man. Not one missed.
CM, I know you've seen it. Yes, okay, see. Everybody was just hitting their free throws, man. The thing is, right? Deadman got ejected, which was good. Jimmy was 23 for 23 alone. So Jimmy have more than half those. Like, he was 20. Jimmy went 23 for 23 from the free throw line in that game, which was crazy. The Ant won 2 to win the game. You know what I'm saying, CM? Yeah. Yeah, it's good. But what makes it so much more special for us Heat fans is Tyler Hero was out, who's a good free throw shooter. Fatih Boom Boom was out. He can shoot free throws. Um, who else was out? No, Caleb Martin was out. He's a very good free throw shooter too. Underrated. Um, yeah, that's three. That's three of our starters. Bam was out. Four starters right there out, and we did that without them. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very special night, man. 40 for 40. At least we're in the NBA history book. You know what I'm saying? Until the Celtics break it, because the refs love giving them the calls.
Hey, no. We some elite shooters, bro. Even that free throw is a madness still. We got some high level free throw shooters still. But wait. Let me get into some of these comments. Hey, and then yeah, you're coming here with all of this under 17 African talk. Look, we got some content coming up soon on African football. I just need to work it out, man. I've been a bit busy, but let me see what you're saying. You say Cameroon's under 17 won 4-0 against Central African Republic's under 17, who's aged. I cannot confirm as MRI wasn't used. Wouldn't be surprised if there were some 23-year-olds in there. But at least I know that we were actually under 17s. Dr. Congo followed in our footsteps and had to forfeit them and 36-year-old Donnies without passports in there. They even brought Mukoku's age into this stuff, saying he's 22 when he scores. He's German and then gets caught in fraud. Cameroonian. See if that was MVP going 40 for 40. People will be crying. But Chino, is CJ gonna win something with the Pearls? He has a better chance with CP3 and Booker shooting 58 points. CJ seen that, and Devin Booker's never leaving the franchise. I mean,
ain't nobody winning nothing with CP38.
All I'm saying is that right now they have a better chance of winning something than the Suns right now. Like, if Zion can come back healthy and all of that, like, they looking good as well. And even BI is injured. He's been out injured for a minute. Like, I feel like he's on his way back. So hey, they have a better chance of winning something more than the Suns right now. And let's see what the Sun does in terms of in terms of some of these moves before this trade deadline. Otherwise, we'll see what happens anyway. But big up is so. I'm right now. I've got the Nets Celtics on right now. I can't lie.
Yeah. Wrap it up, so
Yeah,
I can go check out the Heat Bucks.
All right, cool. All right, but yo, big up to everybody, man. We're gonna wrap the show up right now. Big up to everybody in the chat, man. Hey, it's been another lit show. Can't lie. Big up to man like CM. Big up to man like Chino. CM, man. Let people know where they can find you, bro. Because I know you've been working hard this week. There's been a lot of content to cover. Let people know where they can find you, bro.
Big ups to everybody. You can find me at CM22ENT on YouTube recently. Got a second channel going as well. It's just CM22. So you'll see that linked on my main channel. But yeah, you'll see the United twins there. Stay United, watch alongs. We got another one coming this Saturday for the Manchester Derby. So a lot of work going on right now, and of course on Twitch at CM22ENT. It doesn't stop. It's an unforgiving period of football right now for Man United. So we move, man. But big up, like this video, subscribe to Pros Only Sports. Content is going to come in abundance, people. So be sure to subscribe and support Roland, support Chino, everybody, man. Big ups.
Come on, Chino. Let people know where they can find you real quick, man. I know the channel's coming soon, but shout out your socials and that.
Yeah, you can find me on here. Yeah, you can find me on CM Twitch in this chat. Lately I haven't been on Twitch, man. I've been busy and sick and all that, but yeah, you can always find me in CM's chat. Jerk Panessy.
Come on.
Yeah, you can find me on here, man. We're rolling, and then I'm gonna get my socials and all that together. I'm on Twitter, but my Twitter is a lot of gimmicks and stuff. It ain't nothing serious, but yeah, just like, subscribe the video, follow CM, follow Roland, and all socials, and yeah, man. Big up everybody in the chat.
Come on. Wow factor. When am I doing like another live show? Boy, I don't know, man. I need to figure out my calendar, man. I'm a bit busy next week. Next week we might have a show. I'm gonna discuss it with the guys and see what they're saying because I ain't in the country. I'm just going on a little break I'll be on a break in Paris for 4 days. So next week Friday I'm gonna be here. So I'll sort it out with the guys. Probably there'll be a show next week anyway. We'll see what they're saying. But in terms of live streams, I don't know, man. There's too much United stuff going on. Like I might react to the Manchester Derby. I'll try and react a bit to the Weghorst signing and that just to give a bit of a breakdown on the player and that. And then in terms of live stream, we'll see in it. Like there's games, there's too many games, football, basketball, Champions League is coming back as well next month. We'll definitely get back into that too. So yeah, there's stuff to come. There's stuff to come in it. So don't worry about it. I'm a try and be
doing Champions League. Your team ain't playing.
I don't care. The football's still good, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. We still got very good football to watch, man. What do you mean, bro? You know what I'm saying?
I hope PSG don't win it, man. Because if PSG win it, they're just gonna give Messi another Ballon d'Or.
Trust me, I think they're gonna have to give it to him anyway, based off of that World Cup. Still, I can't lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting. But it might be Mbappe's year. You never know. You never know. He might break the streak still. But yeah, hey, make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button as well if you're new. Hit that notification bell and all of that stuff. Big up to Super Nick as well before we get out of
here. Shout out to Super Nick.
Thank you for stopping through. Thank you for the comment as well. Big up. We're out right now, people. Peace.